what's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another quick tip lesson. Today, my name is Brian, and this has been great. I've really enjoyed making videos and sharing with everybody on these groups, and I'm also posting these on YouTube. So if it disappears, you can go find it on my YouTube channel. I am offering virtual lessons too, if anyone is interested. My gig schedule during COVID is not quite as heavy as it usually is, so I have some more time. Look, today I want to talk about something that's really cool, really effective, really useful. Another game changer, as I'm liking to call these videos, and this is the idea of playing sixths. Sixths. It's kind of hard to say. A sixth basically is just the distance, interval-wise, between the low note and the higher note. So when we talk about a sixth, we're talking about the note that is 6 notes away if we are playing whatever particular scale or mode. So, for instance, I was just doing that jam in the key of E Mixolydian. Okay, that Mixolydian has a nice bluesy sound to it. So if we're looking at an E, we could be looking here. And the way to find our sixth is to count up to 6. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, that note happens to be a C sharp. Okay, so there we have a sixth. We could find that E here as well, and we'd have E and C sharp there. For the majority of this lesson, I want to just look at strings G and E. So the third highest string and the highest string. So we'll skip the B string in between for now, but rest assured you can find these sixths all over. But yeah, so let's just look at some patterns and some ideas here on these strings G and E. So the reason I picked E for this is because we have this open E. All right, and I would start this run with this sixth. So I'd have my first finger down here on the G string. That's a G sharp note, and then I'd have this open E. And I'm going to look at that like my first note, so to speak. If I were just playing a Mixolydian scale, I'm going to look at that as my 1. I'm looking at the higher of the 2 notes to sort of figure out which sixth I'm playing. It's not all that important, but if I'm looking at it this way, okay, and I were to just run up a Mixolydian scale using sixths, we'd have 1 and open, then we'd have 2 and 2, then we'd have 4 and 4, then we'd have 6 and 5, and we'd have 7 and 7. Okay, remember we're playing Mixolydian now. That's why we're playing this flatted 7th note here. Then we'd have 9 and 9, and then we'd have 11 and 10, and then we'd have 13 and 12, and this is back at our starting point. Essentially, this is our octave. 13 and 12 is just an octave higher than 1 and 0. Okay, so just playing it without any of those filler notes or any of the tricks, there we go. We could continue to go up, just remembering the same pattern. Okay, so you can start there. You can practice that, just, you know. Now I'm using a thumb and a finger here. You can see my acrylic nails. Sometimes I'll use a pick and a finger. You don't have to do that. It does make it easier to sort of get past playing that string that's in between. But you could alternate pick them, so you don't have to hit it at the same time. And even if you do hit them at the same time, you could work on muting with your middle finger, muting out your B string. Oh, I played major there. It gets a little harder to mute out down here. You can do it still. It takes a little finesse with your first finger there. I would encourage you to practice both ways. Be good with a pick, be good with your fingers, be good with pick and fingers at the same time. A lot of bluesy and country guys do that, and gals. Okay, so next thing we're going to throw in there is those in between, those chromatics, which sound really cool. Now, basic rule here is anytime you see two shapes that have the same structure and they're separated by one gap, one fret gap, you can throw in that chromatic. So let's go back to the top. If we have 1 and 0, 2 and 2, and our next is 4 and 4, well, we can throw in that 3 and 3. That's going to sound really cool. Check it out. That's straight out of the blues book right there. That was a little fancier. Okay, so there we have one little chromatic step. Now we get into another one, because now we have 7 and 7 and 9 and 9. So I can throw in another one. That one doesn't sound quite as nice, but used carefully can sound really cool. And then check it out. We end with this shape, 11 and 10 up to 13 and 12. So we can put the chromatic here. So now we have a whole run that goes like this. Okay, now we start to get into some really cool ideas. You may have noticed me doing that little half step in. You can also do that on all of these. So you can do... Uh-oh. Getting a little out of tune. Okay, so that's another huge one. It's just doing those little chromatics. All right, let's look at one other idea. I don't want to make this video too long. The idea here of playing two notes, the two notes before the note you land on the G string, and then the sixth. So I'm going to call this a triplet into a sixth. So we'd have, let's go from the high string here, and I'll get real close so we can see this. So if we have this as, say, shape 1, and we're going backwards, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit two notes lower than that ending note, the note that I'm going to play the sixth on. So I'd have... I had to jump down here because we ran out of space. Okay, so there I'm doing that triplet into a sixth move, and I'm doing it with the chromatics as well. All right, so guys, look, there's a boatload of ideas. Again, these 6, you can do all kinds of stuff with them. But get started with that, and please, if you are interested, hit me up for virtual lessons. We can get so much deeper into all this stuff. And till next time, thank you all for checking out my page and leaving comments. I really do appreciate it.